Hello again, everybody. Dread Mechanic back once again for some more mech building nonsense. This is part 2 of my Armored Core Mark V build stream. The goal with this one, as I've said in the last stream, is to kind of build something that's a bit more similar to what I'm actually using in my current Armored Core 6 playthrough. Obviously we're not going to be able to get it 100% accurate without completely rebuilding things that I can't be bothered to do. But the main things I wanted to do with this one is to make a set of nice functional double knee legs, and these are working quite well. I'm thinking I might have to redesign the feet a little bit in some ways. Maybe. I know I want to make this front section a little bit longer, so he's got a little bit more support at the front, because he's slightly forward tipping, because he's got quite a bit of weight sitting over the front of his feet. But the main thing, the big thing, the complicated thing that I want to do is these missile launchers. Now, they are still a wee bit clangy. Unfortunately, I'm not sure I can do much about that using just vanilla bits and pieces, because I think it's an issue with the collisions of the rocket launchers. Occasionally they get a bit freaky and start scrubbing up on each other. But most of the time they're fine. Every so often they freak out a bit, but they seem to be working alright for now. But I did have to add one little mod into this because I couldn't get the missile launchers to work the way I would like them to using just vanilla blocks. Because what I want them to be able to do is do that and have a firing sequence when I press the mouse left click button or whatever your fire button is assigned to. And in order to do that I needed a block that could react to mouse clicks and could also crap. I've just activated flight mode by mistake. Do that. I'm going to do the hard way. I've not rejigged all of these controls yet. Right, that's off. Cool. Yeah, so I was saying I needed a block that could fire the custom missile turrets. And in order to do that, you need a block that can a block that responds to mouse clicks that can also be read by event controllers. So what I ended up having to do was installing Azimuth's tiny drill mod, which also gives you tiny welders and tiny grinders, and they are 2 blocks in size, and they are great for this sort of thing because the way welders, well, the way block tools work is their on and off state are also their functioning state. So if you turn them on, they start drilling, and the way they respond to the game's control inputs, if I jump into the cockpit and I jump back into this turret, where is it? There it is. There's the tip of the welder. Now, if I click the left mouse, you can see clicking the left mouse turns that block on. It straight up just turns it on and off, on and off, on and off. There's no fire state with tools like there is with weapons. So you can then link that up to the event controller underneath to detect when a block turns on and off. So essentially you can create a custom trigger using a block tool and an event controller. Every time I click that mouse, you see the welder lights up red and it fires the mechanism. And all it needs is a block tool, preferably a welder, because grinders and drills will both do damage to stuff, welders fix things as they go. Oh, hey Space Guy Falcon, how you doing, man? And yeah, if you assign that block tool to an event controller and have it switched on and off, it essentially becomes a trigger that you can use with a left click to fire stupid custom weapon designs. And the added bonus is the AI, the CTC AI, can also use that welder as its point of reference for firing the weapon. So when that points at an enemy, it will fire. The only problem is how to use the mod, because standard block tools are absolutely enormous, whereas this Azimuth Tiny Tools mod is brilliant and makes them little teeny weeny things, whereas a regular drill or a regular welder in small grid is bloody huge and is basically the same size as the entire turret, so that wouldn't work as the trigger for it. Really wish Keen would just do that. Azimuth's mod is great, absolutely brilliant, because it is just a 1-for-1 scale down of the large grid ones. I don't know why we don't just have tiny tools in the first place, because that is just insane for a small grid. Why would you want that on a small grid device? If you're going to use that, you may as well just attach a large grid welder. It's ridiculous. Anyway, rant over. These guns work more or less now. And yeah, I also stuck some exhaust pipes out the back. What's that? Fireworks could technically work. Oh, I suppose it could actually. Would it? That's an interesting idea. Because fireworks launchers, do they have a fire state? Or is it just an on and off state? Oh yeah. I was hoping that this modded missile launcher might have a port on the back, but apparently none of them do, so I'm still stuck using that. Where is the fireworks launcher? The fireworks launcher. Where? I need to put you anywhere. I just need to see what you do. There you go, that'll do. Yeah, I'm not... Yeah, I don't think fireworks launchers would work. They work the same way as weapons because they have a fire state. And that's the issue. Because I've tried using weapons. Yeah, they would do a little bit of damage, but I don't think they'd work as a trigger because the fire state is the issue, because these blocks can be turned on and off. But when you click the mouse, they will shoot rather than turn on and off, which is why I'm using the block tools. because block tools turn on and off with mouse clicks. So they're essentially a block that you can use to trigger things with the mouse. Much in the same way that I've been using tiny thrusters to control the walk cycles, because event controllers can pick up thruster movement. If there was something else that could be detected by event controllers and respond to keyboard inputs, I might use that. That can come out, and that can come out, because we don't actually need any of that back there anymore, do we? Because that was for a reactor that we're not going to have on this, because we're not running rail cannons. Running missile launchers. So what's all this in here? Hard to see, that's what it is. That's just connecting all that together. That's connecting that together. What's behind that? More reactors. That's got a connection point. That's got a connection point. That can be filled in then. Oh yeah, that's a point. I can reshape the armor on the back here now. Bit back. Different design. What's that? Oh, you're definitely gonna use that trick for launching drones. Yeah, you could very easily do something like that. You could have a welder on your ship somewhere with an event controller assigned to it, and you turn on the event controller and the welder, and as soon as you click the mouse, it will launch stuff. Because, hang on. Oh, I'm already in the ship, that's fine, aren't I? Or am I? No, I'm not. I'm pissing about out here. Because the way that event controller works, I'll quickly show you. Trigger, it's obviously missile welder as the actual trigger itself, and then event controller set up to block on and off, detects the trigger. So when you click the mouse, that'll turn on, and when that turns on, it is literally just activating, triggering the fire sequence, and that's all it needs to do. So you could have like a drone launch timer that has all the actions you need to launch your drone off, and you could literally just hit the mouse button and away it goes. Or something like that. Yeah, because it works quite nicely now when it's all loaded up. Oh yeah, I also dropped a Seeker missile mod in here, which I haven't tried yet. But yeah, the firing sequence for it's quite nice now. Oh, I just wish that you could... I wish that missiles fit, rockets fit through small grid conveyors. Second, I wish missile launchers could be reloadable. Because as cool as this weapon design is, it is tedious to reload, and it only has very, very limited ammo. Cool, but it's only got like 5 shots in it and then it's empty. Well, it does work pretty much exactly how I wanted it to. It can reset, and then it can deploy. Oh yeah, I need to take those stupid pictures down. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. I was rebreathing a few things. That can go there. What else do we have going on this side? Oh yeah. One of the new weird animals. That one. Right, back like that. I've still got thrusters that I need to put on these legs. And I've still got things I need to set up to make those thrusters work as well. And I also want to try out these ones. Having some of the legs like that. See if they work well at all. Also curious about taking that off for a start. That and that and that. I'm gonna make this armor look a bit more unique or interesting. Do that. That off. Do that. Chop that off. That would be an issue. I wouldn't. Would I? Can't put anything there now. Obviously, and there wouldn't be. Yeah, there wouldn't be any decent attachment points for anything anywhere. Ah, lame. That idea is crap. Gonna be nowhere to touch. Anything too. No, I just all clang and do weird stuff. Like, but that bit drops out too. Yeah. Lame. Like that all the way around. It would look a bit. way of making this arm look a little bit more interesting without having to completely rebuild it. Another thing I'd really like it if Keen could do is make a triangle block. It's that size that matches up with this block. A little triangle plate the same size as that would be fantastic, please, Keen. Because then I could bridge little tiny gaps on little tiny corners. Because right now, if I want to get a connection point where I want it, my options are to stick that there, something bridging this gap, which will not fit, because the rotor head's in the way. Damn. Yeah, oh well, that idea yeah, that wouldn't work anyway. It's that Becking rotor head. So, no, there's just no way to get the block that I want into that space. Oh, damn. Right. Smack that. I just cut the wrong thing off. Yeah, we'll go back. Hello, Crack Joris. Yeah, it's a big robot. Not the biggest one I've built. The biggest one I've built, about 200 meters tall, the biggest one I've built. It's not finished yet, though. Because the biggest one I built is so big, it causes issues with the game. Because I've made it too big. And it's only half built and already lags the game out. So I don't know if I'm actually even able to finish the biggest one I've made. Right, I might have to scrap this idea with the arm redesign. I don't think it's going to work. Only option I really have for making this arm a bit skinnier. Oh, then just go for it, man. If you want to build a robot, just start playing around with it. All you really need is rotors, hinges, some event controllers maybe, or a script, depending how you want to go, and a lot of patience. Because building robots in this game can be a bit complicated sometimes, especially if you are new to it. It can get a bit confusing and overwhelming. Yeah, just having a bit of patience is very important. Let's try. What if... Right, not to delete the vitally important rotor that holds the whole arm together. Could we compromise? Could we do half and half? Have an idea. Could we do that across there? And take that for now, because that's the scheme we're working with. That can go. That can go. One, two, three. Bit of colour across there. Take that one out. Where's that piece gone? There it is. Take that out. And then that can go. Do that way. Too many. That's the one. And then we could stick that there. Stick that there. Oh, that sort of rim around the top, but down here can't do massive amounts different. You know what? It's different, so I'm going to go with it. Oh, cheers, Crack Duras. Yeah, it's working pretty well so far. I mean, that's the one I'm working on. This is one of my test versions that I have been playing around with. So it works, it functions, it walks around. Got an automatic balance control system that I've been working on. Stop it from tipping over. Needs a bit of tweaking on this one, I think. But yeah, it's a fully functioning robot. I'm just giving it a bit of work, redoing a few things. So I've got this one over here that I've also been working on, that can, currently it's got a control system more like Armored Core 6, so you can walk around with the keyboard or the control pad, and if you tap crouch button it'll switch into like skimmer mode so it can glide around, and if you hit the space bar it will take flight and then you can fly around, and all the arms and legs move depending on what controls you're pressing. And then if you come back into land, he will switch back into skimmer mode. You can carry on flying around on the floor like that. And if you come to a complete stop, he will switch back to walk mode. And you can walk around. And basically just building another one, essentially. The arms moving, that is actually really functional, as well as just looking cool. Because there's a reason that we bipeds swing our arms opposite to the way we're walking, to aid with balance, and it actually does translate into this game quite well. If you're building a mech and you make the arms swing in the opposite direction to the legs that are moving, it really does help. Like, you set up a controller to look at be triggered by a light and control a hinge, and I can make each part of the body move by just turning lights on and off. And then all I have to do is make a sequence of timers that just turn on and off the lights, and it'll do all the moving for me. Yeah, just takes a little bit of fiddling to get it all figured out. Move that leg out of Jameson's way. Hello, Jameson. Are you going to get in the way again today? That's what you usually do. Yeah, right. So, other little adjustments that I want to make to this one. I would like to redesign these shoulders also a little bit. I'm going to take the top off them for a start. I also want to take that out of there. I want these ones to be a bit more angular. Probably a bit more like that. That might do for now. Now, this bit here. What if that. Nope. That was that unknown signal exploding. That's all that was. Oh, my microphone was off. Have I been talking to myself this whole time? I think I was talking to myself that whole time, wasn't I? Yeah, I think my microphone's been off the last 10 minutes. I've probably been rambling to myself and responding to everybody's messages in silence. I'm an idiot. I need some sort of indicator on my actual screen that I'm looking at that my microphone is on and off, because it's on my OBS, which is on my other screen, which isn't in my immediate line of sight. Which is a bit stupid. Oh well. Anyway, what I was saying, that none of you could hear, probably for the last 10 minutes, is all of the moving parts of this are controlled by lights. I don't know whether you heard that part, or whether I had my mic muted, but all the moving parts of this mech are all controlled by light switches that trigger event controllers that move hinges and rotors. That way you can make really complex movement animations in a real simple way. Yeah, because I can drag my audio mixer from OBS onto my main screen, but as soon as I click back on the game, it disappears behind the Space Engineers window, which is annoying. Oh well. It is what it is. For now, anyway. Hello, the Fox 12. What are you humming at? Right, so... Those arms will do for now. There's not much more greebling I can do to that, really. Right, next stupid complicated thing that I really need to think about rebuilding. The missile pod back to its default position. There we go. So I have got my movement controls. I turn that on. I can start walking. Then, if I tap the C button, that puts us into skimmer mode. Now, that has some things that I need to rebuild. Like, I need to rebuild the friction controls on the wheels. Yeah. So, skimmer mode, control on, skimmer mode on. What have I deleted and what do I need to replace? There's 2 blocks there that are missing. What are they? Friction lights, that'll be what they are. Is I need to rebuild the friction control system. Designing things just comes with time and patience, man. Oh, that's an issue. My thrusters are dusting off the back of my legs. Great. Really? There's so much distance there. Oh, that's feckin' irritating. Oh well, is what it is. Roll mode on and off. That turns that off. It turns walk side on. It's supposed to turn everything else off too. Oh, it's not switched back on, that's why. There's some control in there that's busted as well, so I need to fix that too. Right, so we need to turn off the friction on all of these wheels when it starts to move, or when it wants to go into skimmer mode. This one, ping off the floor, over here. We've got that light triggering. Control that I've buried in there, I think. Yeah. Oh yeah, I also want to extend this foot as well, didn't I? And to make it a little bit longer, so it's a little less tippy on the front. Cut that out. Cut that and that out, and that. Fill that in there. Actually, I need to fill that in, because that's where I'm going to put the new wheels. Oh no, it's not. Idiot. I'm going to stick the new wheel on the end. Short suspension, there we go. Like that, and like that. Come out, come out, come out. That can go there. That can go there. That can go there. That can come out. That can go there. And that can go there. The feet can be a little bit longer. A little bit more support at the front so it doesn't tip forward as much. Take all the suspension. Fiddle around with the controls a bit. 450. Yeah, 100 will do. Set's fine. Speed limit is kind of irrelevant. Yeah, those feet should be a little bit more supportive. Left, right, and that'll make it easier. Oh, the little bot at the bottom, he is doing absolutely nothing. He does absolutely nothing. He is completely useless in every way. He has no storage, no weapons, no nothing. He is, or was, just an experiment to try and make a automated mech as small as I possibly could with the bare minimum of parts, and I based him on the Jameson model cyborg from Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, and he does nothing. He literally just follows me around like a cat. And yeah, he's just set up to follow me around. That's literally all he does. He is surprisingly good though at getting around. Because he's so small and light and doesn't have enough mass, his feet don't actually grip the floor properly, so he has to have a little tiny thruster at the back to help him along. But that one little tiny thruster is just about enough to push him up some surprisingly steep hills. And yeah, he just follows me around. And he's got a sensor on the front of him to stop his walk cycle, so he doesn't just continuously walk into stuff. And yeah, he just follows me around. He's like my little mascot or a pet. Yeah, the little fan thrusters are not very strong when you're building like something big. You need lots and lots of them. But for little things, they are surprisingly good. Like I've got a couple of like tiny little drones that are about the same size as him, just minus the legs, that literally have like 4 of those little fan thrusters on the bottom, and that's enough to keep it up in the air. Oh, what else was I intending to do? Oh yeah, this friction mode nonsense. I need... Oh yeah, I was also thinking about making this into a single grid. Yeah, I might make that into a single grid so it's a little bit stronger. Because then I could Hey. Yeah, you know what? I am going to do that. I'm just going to make it a single grid. Because it'll make life a little bit easier. It'll give a little bit more support to the back of these things. There's my merge blocks. There's one, there's two. There you go. That is now one grid. I could put like that in there to join them. Maybe. Ooh, actually, to make it less obvious that it's a single grid, blend it a little bit more. Do that. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Oh, well, it defeats the. Oh, actually, stick it there.